Will Dex's family appear at funeral? Mom, Dad, and brother's last chance at goodbye in General Hospital spoilers. Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a thumbs up, thank you. General Hospital GH. Spoilers are teasing a heart-wrenching chapter in the saga of Dex Heller's Evanhofer life and death. As the grim reality of Dex's fate sets in, one of the lingering questions revolves around his estranged family. Will any of them show up at his funeral to say their final goodbyes? For Dex, who never had the chance to reconcile with his parents or siblings, the situation leaves fans wondering if his relatives will make an appearance, and whether their presence will be for closure or simply guilt. Dex's troubled family dynamics. Throughout Dex's time on General Hospital, his complicated relationships with his family have been a focal point of his backstory. From the start, it was clear that Dex did not have the most supportive or loving upbringing. His father was a cruel, unfaithful man who didn't shy away from using underhanded tactics to get what he wanted. As a result, Dex never respected him and, in fact, had an immense amount of resentment toward him. Dex's siblings, on the other hand, seemed to blindly worship their father, leaving Dex feeling like an outsider in his own family. In fact, his brothers bullied him growing up, with Dex even revealing that their physical abuse was so severe it left him hospitalized on more than one occasion. It's clear that Dex's childhood was a traumatic one, full of fighting and dysfunction. The emotional scars of those years ran deep, especially around the holidays, when family conflict was at its peak. Then there's Dex's mother. Although she wasn't an abuser, she wasn't exactly a source of support either. Dex's mother tolerated her husband's behavior and never stepped in to protect her son. This lack of intervention only deepened the rift between them. Dex's feelings toward his mother were fraught with anger and disappointment. It's not surprising that their relationship was fractured, as Dex never felt like she stood up for him when he needed it most. Despite the years of hurt and unresolved issues, recent General Hospital episodes hinted that Dex might have been on the verge of reaching out to his mother. He briefly considered calling her, perhaps hoping for some form of closure or reconnection before it was too late. Whether or not he actually went through with it is uncertain, but there's a possibility that a rewrite could have Dex leaving a voicemail or sending a letter to her. The funeral. Will Dex's family make an appearance? With Dex now gone, the question on everyone's mind is whether his estranged family members will show up at his funeral. Given the history of their fractured relationships, it seems unlikely that his father or brothers would be there, at least not without some sort of internal struggle or guilt. If they couldn't be bothered to reconcile with Dex while he was alive, it's hard to imagine that they would suddenly show up at his funeral as a way to make amends. Dex's father. Considering the animosity between Dex and his father, the idea of Dex's dad attending his funeral feels highly improbable. Dex's father was never the kind of man who would take responsibility for his actions, and it's hard to see him doing so now. If he did show up, it would likely be out of guilt or a desire to appear sympathetic. However, such a move would likely be seen as insincere, especially by those who knew the true nature of his relationship with Dex's brothers. As for Dex's brothers, they may harbor some feelings of guilt, but it seems too little too late. Their mistreatment of Dex growing up is well documented, and while they may have grown older, it's difficult to imagine them suddenly appearing at his funeral as a sign of remorse. If they did attend, it would likely spark tension, particularly with Jocelyn, who is already grappling with her grief. Dex's mother. Of all the family members, Dex's mother might be the one most likely to show up. Although their relationship was strained, she may feel compelled to be there to honor her son in the wake of his death. It's possible that her attendance could be a chance for her to share her side of the story, and perhaps even offer an apology for her past actions. This could also serve as a moment for Jocelyn to get to know more about Dex's past, and the kind of man he became, despite the dysfunctional family dynamics. Will she welcome Dex's family? Jocelyn, Eden McCoy, has already experienced intense grief following Dex's death, and the idea of his family showing up at the funeral would undoubtedly complicate her emotions. If Dex's father or brothers did attend, Jocelyn would likely feel betrayed, angry, and heartbroken all over again. She might lash out at them, especially given the tension between them and Dex during his life. Jocelyn may be especially vocal about how Dex wouldn't have wanted them there, and she could even confront them for their failures as family members. Her grief could manifest in a fiery outburst, demanding that they leave and never return. However, if Dex's mother does show up, Jocelyn might have a more nuanced reaction. While she'd still be grieving, there could be a bit more sympathy or understanding extended toward Dex's mother, particularly if she expresses remorse or a desire for closure. This could be a moment for Jocelyn to reflect on the kind of man Dex turned out to be despite the hardships he endured. What's next for Jocelyn and Dex's family? The next few weeks on General Hospital will likely see some tough moments as Jocelyn tries to navigate the emotional turmoil of losing Dex. While the arrival of Dex's family at the funeral could add even more drama to an already difficult time, it also offers a potential opportunity for some resolution and closure. Whether or not Dex's family shows up, Jocelyn will need to continue processing her grief while dealing with the repercussions of their past actions. It's clear that she will keep pushing forward, one day at a time, even if that means confronting the ghosts of Dex's family in the process. Stay tuned to General Hospital for all the updates on this emotional journey, and keep an eye out for any surprises that might come along as the show continues to explore Dex's legacy and the impact of his relationships on those left behind. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our General Hospital Update news channel and stay with us.